Hello, my friend. Let me share a story that might sound simple, but for one man, it changed everything. His name was Frank, 72 years old, a proud grandfather, a retired mechanic, and a man who'd spent most of his life on his feet. But as the years went by, those same knees that once knelt on cold garage floors now ached with every step. His hands, once steady enough to fix the finest details under the hood, had grown stiff. Pain followed him like a shadow, especially in the mornings. He couldn't lift his granddaughter without wincing. He couldn't walk the block without grabbing his cane. And worst of all, he felt like he was losing parts of himself with every click and crack in his joints. Doctors prescribed the usual: anti-inflammatories, pain meds, cortisone shots. They helped a little, but they also left him feeling foggy, tired, and discouraged. He wanted something natural, something real, something his body would recognize, not just mask the pain. Then a friend mentioned an old remedy: bone broth. Frank had heard of it. "Just soup, right?" he said with a chuckle. But that night, he went home, filled a pot with bones, garlic, onions, and a splash of apple cider vinegar, and let it simmer. He drank a warm cup every morning, not expecting much, not hoping too hard. But 2 weeks in, something shifted. The stiffness in his knees wasn't as sharp. His hands felt less swollen. He was sleeping through the night. A month later, Frank stood up from his recliner without pushing off the armrest. By spring, he was back to gardening, with his granddaughter laughing beside. Frank now calls it the broth. You might wonder, is it just a fluke, a placebo? Or is there something about this ancient, slow-cooked elixir that truly heals? In today's video, we'll uncover the bone broth BWO can use. Because maybe, just maybe, healing doesn't come in a pill bottle. Maybe it starts with a pot, a ladle, and one warm sip at a time. Let's begin. What's in bone broth that heals? Bone broth may look like just a bowl of soup, but inside it is a powerful combination of nutrients designed by nature and backed by science to repair, soothe, and strengthen your joints. Let's break it down. At its core, bone broth is made by simmering animal bones, typically from chicken, beef, or fish, for long periods, often 12 to 24 hours. This slow cooking extracts collagen, gelatin, amino acids, and essential minerals from the bones and connective tissues into the liquid. These are the very building blocks your body needs, especially as you age. Let's start with collagen. As we get older, our body naturally produces less of it. Collagen is what keeps your joints cushioned, your skin firm, and your tendons elastic. When this cushion wears thin, bones grind, inflammation builds, and pain sets in, especially in your knees, hips, fingers, and spine. Bone broth is one of the most concentrated natural sources of type 2 collagen, the very type that supports cartilage and joint surfaces. As collagen breaks down during simmering, it becomes gelatin, a soft, jelly-like substance that works wonders inside the body. Gelatin supports the production of synovial fluid. That's the fluid that lubricates your joints and keeps them moving smoothly. For seniors who feel creaky or stiff in the morning, restoring this lubrication can be a game-changer. Then there are the amino acids, specifically glycine, proline, and glutamine. Glycine is known for its calming effect on the nervous system and its role in reducing inflammation throughout the body. Proline supports tissue repair and elasticity. Glutamine helps maintain the lining of the gut, which is critical because poor gut health can lead to increased inflammation, autoimmune flare-ups, and joint pain. Bone broth also delivers minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and potassium in a highly bioavailable form, meaning your body absorbs them more efficiently than from pills. These minerals are essential not only for bone strength, but for nerve function, muscle control, and reducing cramping. But here's what makes bone broth especially effective for people over 60. It's easy to digest. As we age, stomach acid and enzyme production naturally decline. That means even if we eat healthy foods, we might not fully break them down or absorb their nutrients. Bone broth is already pre-digested through the slow cooking process, making it gentle on the stomach and readily absorbed into the bloodstream. Recent research has begun to back up what traditional medicine has known for centuries. A study published in Nutrition Journal found that collagen supplementation reduced joint pain in elderly adults with osteoarthritis. Another study in Current Medical Research and Opinion reported improved knee function and decreased discomfort among athletes using collagen peptides. While these studies used supplements, natural bone broth contains similar active compounds without the fillers or artificial ingredients. Finally, bone broth contains glucosamine and chondroitin, two compounds often sold as joint supplements. In broth form, they come from real cartilage and bones, offering a natural synergy with collagen and amino acids. Together, they may help slow cartilage breakdown and support joint repair. In short, bone broth isn't just a comfort food. It's functional nutrition. It gives your body raw materials it's missing, especially in later years when wear and tear catches up with us. Up next, I'll show you exactly how to choose the right bones, cook them properly, and turn your kitchen into a healing pharmacy. Get ready to transform your pot into a tool of renewal. Let's move to the practical steps. Tip 1. Choose the right bones. Not all bones are equal. Use these. When it comes to making bone broth that actually heals your joints, the type of bones you choose matters more than most people realize. For the best results, you need bones that are rich in collagen, cartilage, and marrow, the components that provide joint-healing compounds like gelatin, glucosamine, and chondroitin. Knuckle bones, marrow bones, oxtail, chicken feet, beef joints, and neck bones are all excellent choices. These parts might not look glamorous in the butcher's case, but they're powerhouses of healing potential. If you prefer chicken, go for backs, wings, and feet. Yes, feet. They're loaded with connective tissue that breaks down beautifully into gelatin. For beef, femur bones and knuckle joints provide both marrow and cartilage. Don't be afraid to mix and match. Using both meaty and joint-rich bones gives you a fuller spectrum of nutrients and a richer flavor. Whenever possible, choose organic or grass-fed bones. Animals raised without antibiotics or hormones produce cleaner, healthier bones. It's worth paying a little more for quality. It's your health we're talking about. You can find these bones at local butchers, farmers markets, or ask your groceries meat department to set some aside. Many seniors don't realize they can get a week's worth of powerful broth from just a few pounds of inexpensive bones. Think of this as your foundation. Just like a house needs solid support, your healing broth starts with the right materials. Get this step right, and you're already halfway to success. Tip 2. Cooking it the right way. Boil slowly. Heal deeply. Now that you've got the right bones, the next step is cooking them properly to extract every drop of goodness. This isn't fast food. It's slow, intentional nourishment. Time and temperature matter. You'll want to simmer your broth low and slow for at least 10 to 12 hours for chicken bones and 18 to 24 hours for beef bones. This slow simmer allows the collagen, minerals, and amino acids to fully break down and infuse the liquid. Rushing the process means leaving valuable nutrients behind. Start by placing your bones in a large stock pot or slow cooker. Add enough water to cover the bones by about 2 inches. Then, this part is crucial, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. The vinegar helps leach the minerals out of the bones during cooking. Next, toss in a few aromatics, onions, garlic, carrots, celery, and a bay leaf. These add not just flavor, but additional anti-inflammatory and immune-supporting properties. You can also add ginger or turmeric if you want an extra healing boost. Bring the pot to a gentle boil, then reduce the heat to a low simmer. Skim off any foam that rises in the first hour. This helps purify the broth. Let it bubble away gently, uncovered or partially covered for the full duration. When it's done, strain the liquid, let it cool and store in jars in the fridge or freezer. This isn't just cooking, it's crafting medicine in a pot. Time and love are your two main ingredients. Tip 3. Daily serving and best times to drink 1 cup a day keeps joint pain away. You don't need to drink gallons of bone broth to feel the difference. In fact, just 1 to 2 cups per day can deliver powerful benefits when used consistently. The key is routine, giving your body steady, daily nourishment to rebuild what time and where have taken away. The best time to enjoy your broth. Many seniors find that drinking it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning provides a gentle, comforting start to the day. It helps line the stomach, calm inflammation, and sets a healing tone for your digestion and joints. Others prefer sipping it before bed, where the glycine in the broth promotes deeper, more restful sleep and overnight recovery. Bone broth is also incredibly versatile. You don't have to drink it plain, though sipping a warm cup can feel soothing and nostalgic. You can use it as a base for soups, to cook rice or quinoa, or even as the liquid in savory oatmeal. Some seniors blend it into smoothies or combine it with a bit of coconut milk and turmeric for a creamy anti-inflammatory tonic. And remember, consistency is more important than quantity. Think of it as brushing your teeth. Small daily actions create long-term change. Missing a day isn't the end of the world, but making broth part of your everyday routine can help support long-term joint comfort, mobility, and strength. Give it a place in your daily rhythm and watch what happens. Tip 4. Add these joint healing boosters. Turn your broth into medicine. Bone broth on its own is already rich in joint-loving nutrients, but with a few strategic additions, you can supercharge it into a powerful healing tonic, tailored for aging joints and aching limbs. Let's start with turmeric and black pepper. Turmeric contains curcumin, one of nature's most potent anti-inflammatories, while black pepper enhances its absorption. Stir in 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder and a pinch of black pepper for every serving of broth, especially if you suffer from stiffness or morning swelling. Next, add ginger. Fresh or powdered, it soothes joint pain and improves circulation. It also brings a warming, spicy note that many seniors find comforting. If you want to go a step further, stir in a scoop of hydrolyzed collagen powder. Even though your broth already contains collagen, a concentrated supplement can reinforce the rebuilding of cartilage, especially in worn knees and shoulders. Some also add chia seeds or ground flax seeds to boost omega-3 intake and support lubrication inside the joints. Just whisk in 1 teaspoon and let it sit for a minute to thicken. You can even try seaweed, like wakame or kelp, for trace minerals, or a dash of miso paste for natural probiotics that support gut health, because a healthier gut leads to reduced systemic inflammation. Think of your broth as a base canvas. With these additions, you're not just making it taste better, you're crafting a daily ritual of healing. A warm mug becomes a medicine cabinet, all from your kitchen, all for your body. Tip 5. Avoid these common mistakes. Why some broths make things worse. Even the best intentions can backfire if a few key mistakes sneak into your bone broth routine. Let's make sure your healing journey doesn't get sidetracked by these common errors, because not all bone broths are created equal. Mistake number 1, using bones from factory-farmed animals. Bones from conventionally raised livestock often contain residues from antibiotics, hormones, and poor quality feed. These can concentrate in the marrow and fat, and you definitely don't want them in your body. Always opt for grass-fed, pasture-raised or organic bones whenever possible. It's worth the extra few dollars to avoid introducing toxins while trying to heal inflammation. Mistake number 2, not cooking it long enough. Many first-timers simmer bones for just 2 or 3 hours, thinking that's enough. Unfortunately, that barely scratches the surface. For full extraction of collagen, gelatin, and minerals, you need at least 10 to 12 hours for poultry and 18 to 24 hours for beef. Anything less, and you're missing the true therapeutic value. Mistake number 3, adding too much salt or processed flavorings. Pre-made bouillon cubes, soup bases, or heavy seasoning can turn a healing broth into a sodium bomb. High salt content can contribute to inflammation, water retention, and elevated blood pressure, especially in older adults. Instead, keep it simple. Add salt to taste only when serving. Mistake number 4, drinking too much too fast. Bone broth is gentle, but it's rich. Start with 1/2 to 1 cup per day and give your digestive system time to adjust, especially if you're sensitive to high-protein foods. Healing is a process. Avoid these traps and your broth will be a friend, not a foe. It's more than a recipe, it's a ritual. Let's come back to where we began. Frank, the 72-year-old grandfather whose joints once betrayed him every time he stood up, bent over, or tried to embrace his granddaughter. His story is not rare. In fact, it's the quiet reality for millions of older adults who wake up each morning feeling like their body has aged faster than their spirit. But the turning point in Frank's life wasn't a surgery or a miracle pill, it was a pot of broth. Every evening, he'd set a pot on the stove, fill it with bones and love, and let it simmer into something greater than the sum of its parts. And each morning, he sipped it, not just as a beverage, but as a promise to his body, a promise to nourish, to restore, to fight for comfort and strength. You see, this journey is about more than just joint relief. It's about reclaiming agency over your health, one small act at a time. When we're young, we think health is something we either have or we don't. But aging teaches us that wellness is built, slowly, daily, deliberately. There's something profound about stirring a pot of broth that your own hands made, something empowering about knowing the ingredients, and something healing in the ritual, the quiet time, the aroma in your kitchen, the warmth that spreads from your belly to your knees. Yes, the science behind bone broth is strong. Collagen, gelatin, amino acids, they all play a role in healing. But don't underestimate the emotional weight of taking care of yourself, especially in a world that often forgets the wisdom, experience, and quiet strength of older adults. So, if you're feeling stiff, sore, or frustrated with how your body moves, this is your invitation. Not to give up, not to accept decline, but to begin again, with a ladle in your hand and hope in your heart. Bone broth is more than a soup, it's a statement. It says, I may be aging, but I'm not done. I still care, I still move, I still want to feel good. Make it for your joints, make it for your energy, make it because you matter. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find what Frank found, that healing starts not with noise, but with something quiet, something warm, something that begins with a single sip. Your Bone Broth Blueprint starts tonight. Now that you know the why and the how, it's time to begin. Not tomorrow, tonight. Go to your kitchen and pull out that old pot you haven't used in a while. Head to your local butcher or grocery store and ask for marrow bones, knuckles, or chicken feet. Add some apple cider vinegar, some garlic, maybe a bit of onion and carrot. Let it simmer low and slow. It's not complicated, but it is intentional. This isn't about following a trend or chasing the latest health craze. It's about creating a quiet routine that supports your joints, nourishes your body, and reminds you that you are still worth caring for. Give yourself 10 days. Just 1 warm cup of bone broth a day. Add turmeric if your knees feel tight. Stir in a little ginger if your morning starts slow. Use it as a base for your favorite soups, or just sip it while watching the evening news. It's your time, your ritual. And if you start to feel even a little better, less stiffness, easier walking, deeper sleep, don't keep that secret to yourself. Share this video with someone you love. Maybe a friend who's been struggling with hip pain, or a neighbor who's tired of taking pills just to get through the day. And if you haven't already, subscribe to ElderSpark, because this is just the beginning. Every week, we bring you natural, time-tested ways to feel stronger, live fuller, and age on your own terms. So tonight, light the stove, fill the pot, and take that first healing sip, because no matter your age, you're not done yet. What we learned today. Today you discovered that relief from joint pain might not come from a prescription, but from your kitchen. We explored how bone broth, rich in collagen, gelatin, amino acids and minerals, supports joint health, reduces inflammation, and restores mobility, especially after 60. You learned how to choose the right bones, cook them slowly, and drink broth daily for lasting benefits. You also found smart ways to boost healing by adding turmeric, ginger and collagen, while avoiding common mistakes like short cooking times or low-quality ingredients. It's simple, affordable, and empowering. The blueprint is in your hands now. Your journey to stronger joints begins with 1 warm cup. So go ahead, sip, heal, and thrive. A final sip and a new start. So here we are, my friend. We've come full circle, from aching joints and forgotten remedies to a pot of broth simmering with possibility. You don't need to be a chef. You don't need fancy supplements. What you need is already within reach. Time-tested wisdom, simple ingredients, and the belief that your body still deserves healing, even now, especially now. At ElderSpark, we believe every season of life holds the power to transform. So if this message stirred something in you, hope, curiosity, or even a quiet determination, let this be your moment. Make your first batch tonight. Stick with it for 10 days. Watch what shifts, not just in your joints, but in your confidence, your energy, your strength. And if this video gave you something meaningful, consider joining us here at ElderSpark. We're more than a channel. We're a movement of older adults refusing to fade quietly. Together, we're reclaiming health, purpose, and vitality, one habit at a time. Here's your challenge. Don't just think about it. Do it. Simmer the broth, sip it slowly, and spark the strength within. We'll be right here when you're ready for the next step. Until then, stay strong, stay curious, and never stop believing in better days.